from Maui. It says I'm live, I'm live. Hello, hello. I'm so happy to be here with you. It's 9:30 in the morning here on Maui. And I am so ready to unpack this story for you. I'm grateful to be here, and I've really enjoyed all the talks from everybody. I look forward to going back and going through the replays, and just such a beautiful page full of beautiful people. So I'm Janice, and I live on Maui, and I've been a nomad worker, entrepreneur for 38 years. I had a wonderful lavender farm bed and breakfast for almost 15 years, and I'm going to share a little bit about what I learned there on the farm, and how it really reflects in my life today, in my coaching and in my business, and keeps me in alignment and keeps me on task and on purpose. So I'm really excited, and I just want to ask the first question: when was the last time you felt really in alignment, in the flow? Like you caught the wave and you're riding it and it's so much fun. Oh, we've all felt it, I know, at certain moments in our life. And I certainly felt it when I lived on my beautiful lavender farm in Central California. Here's a beautiful little rivet that one of the artists made there, because we were such a gorgeous place that it was attraction marketing at its finest. It was really spoiled me, because people would show up and they would just be mesmerized. And I've done a lot of, contemplation and reflection on this over the years as to why it was such an amazing place. We became the largest tourist draw in our town. We welcomed people from all over the world, and I would teach them about plant wellness, because your skin is your largest organ, and it's a leading indicator if things are going on. And really, I was talking at that time about how important it was to know what you were putting on your skin, because it was getting into your bloodstream. And I would teach about how to grow plants and about lavender. We were a nursery. It was just so much fun. I raised my family there. We bought a 100-year-old farm, and just loved every single minute of it. We were Green Acres Lavender Farm, if you ever made it to Central Coast. People would come year after year after year. And what I learned from that is that when I build relationships and take people along for the ride and kind of go with the story instead of pushing it and outlining, things really worked out so much smoother. So every year, people would come back. I would say, next year you're going to see this whole field's going to be like this, and this is going to be here, and this is going to be here, and you're going to have lavender lemonade. And they would come back, and they would see that. They would see the actionable results, and it would just bring people into the journey. And this is why we had such great success, because I was happy, I was in alignment. It was what I wanted to do. It was my passion. I was speaking every day and teaching and educating, and I was teaching Pilates and having retreats, and it was an art gallery. We had artists there all the time. It was just a wonderful bohemian lifestyle that I loved. For many, many years, I won Business Person of the Year for bringing an industry to the area that had never been before. It was my baby. We built the house. We planted all 14,000 plants. It was such an experience, but I learned so much. So one of the lessons I wanted to talk about, the first one, is patience and nurturing and building those relationships, because that's what creates the business, right? The business doesn't just appear. It's created through bringing people along in the story that you're sharing about what you do and what you offer and who you are and what your dreams are. So important. When you're in tune, then you can help bring people along for the ride. Joyful process. The other thing I learned is that I would give and give and give and give and give and give. I'm very generous. And I know all of you are probably very generous as well, and you understand sometimes we can feel like, wow, we're giving a lot, but we're not getting back. And we really have to come to the conclusion that we can be a go-giver leader, meaning we can first give to ourselves. And we can nourish ourselves, because if we're not doing that, then we can't be sustainable. And this was the third important lesson that I learned, is that you've got to be taking care of yourself first and prepared. You've got to prepare for anything that could happen in your business, because I had just won Business Person of the Year, was at the top of my game, and I went on vacation. We got a loan from the USDA to take it to the next level, and I went on vacation. Our first vacation in 3.5 years, because I had been really working hard, doing, pushing to get this to be a success. I had kind of forgotten to take care of myself, and I realized that a little bit later, because on that first day of my vacation on my husband's 60th birthday, I stepped in a hole and broke my leg. Now, when you're a mom and pop and you take the mom out of the mom and pop, this is a disaster. It happened when the 2008-2009 recession was going on, so it was a perfect storm for us, because when the severity of it and the multiple surgeries and almost losing my leg, the pain, the drama, all of it, a year later we lost the farm. We had to sell it short and walk away from our cats and our life, and I was the lavender lady, and I had a venue, and now all of a sudden I had nothing but a lot of pain, and a mother that I just found out had Alzheimer's because she'd been hiding some of this stuff to me, and now I was turned to focus on her because we moved closer to her when we lost the farm, and I had this new thing, this Alzheimer's. I was now a caregiver. So life changed like that, and if you aren't prepared for this, because it's going to happen, it's happened enough to me now at my 62 short years to know that it's going to happen. You got to be prepared mentally, and I had done a business plan, and I thought I was prepared, but no one really prepared me for what came. And what came was a lot of depression, a lot of financial worry and stress and anxiety, and a lot of toxin buildup in my body from the medications, right? And that's where I need to unpack the story, because when I realized, okay, and it was just so interesting how it all went down, because I started to have, there's a lot that happened in between, but it's difficult to get it in 20 minutes, but I want to get to the lessons. But I became to the point where I had some serious skin issues that turned into psoriasis, that turned into MRSA. And the doctor said to me, after we finally got it under control with 4 rounds of antibiotics, 4, don't forget that, yuck, you don't want it. She said, you've got to lose weight, you've got to get on a good probiotic, clean up your gut, build your immunity immediately, or you're going to face a life of medication. And I was medication free all my life. So that scared me. That was like a wake-up call, but I realized I had put on about 100 pounds of depression. I was carrying around a lot of baggage, and I wasn't doing the inside work to really deal with it because it had been too painful. And so I knew I needed to deal with it. So thankfully, the system that I do, which is with Isogenics, came along about 3 days after that, and it was a perfect timing, another perfect storm. Not a bad one, but a good one, because I started to do the work first on forgiveness and learning to reconnect with myself and my dreams. This is so important. This is part of the healing process for everybody, because if you're not reconnected to yourself, your dreams, and forgiving yourself and loving yourself and doing the inner healing work, it's really hard for the other stuff to work as well too. So I was doing that along with my awesome system that I teach now with a beautiful protein pacing, because it's very important to pace that protein. It's a regulator of so much in your body, which really helped with the brain fog. And then I addressed the deficiencies with adaptogens, nootropics, and things that I love to talk about, which are all plant wellness, NAD, all these beautiful things. And I addressed the toxins, because toxins going through your body that you weren't used to, because I had a lot of them in the surgery. I got off as fast as I could. Cannabis was my only medication as soon as I could get off of it for the pain. And I was full of toxins. And you can't really release the fat until the toxins are addressed, because the toxins are stored in the fat. Don't you love how you can get potential spam warnings now on your phone calls? Someone's calling me, potential spam. Yay. I love technology, just like being here. But when you address the toxins, right, and you get the toxins flushing out, and that's through our botanically supported intermittent fasting protocol, proven, and it works, because I have released that 100 pounds over the last almost 10 years, and I've helped many others reset and rebalance and reboot. But it's those things. It's really, first we have to, if you think about it, performance equals potential minus the interference. So we want to get rid of the interference, which is all that baggage of self-doubt, regret. So many beautiful women have talked about that in this group. Go and get the work. Do the deep subconscious work. Do your human design. I did mine. I love it. I'm a projector. I'm a leader, and it really helped me to understand why I do what I do. I am a guide, and I want to guide people into a better way of life. And so we want to have action to do that, right? Performance. We want to get the results, but we've got to remove the interference, those things that are holding us back, the limiting beliefs. We've got to address the deficiencies by supplementing. We are definitely in the age of supplementation, friends. There's no way around it. Our soil is depleted. Our food is not what it used to be. And if we're going to be protein pacing and I need 140 grams of protein, I cannot, absolutely not, do that with just meat. So I love having the ability to have my clear protein, my whey protein, my plant-based protein that I can supplement. This is so important. So I really teach a protein pacing protocol throughout the day with an intermittent fasting protocol that will address those deficiencies. And when you're removing the interference, doing the work, the limiting beliefs, the self-doubt, the fear, the feeling unworthy that you don't deserve success, reframing how we talk to ourselves, speaking to ourselves with love, like we are the most important person on the planet, because we are. And if you have a negative comment coming in, reframe it with a positive one immediately, so you can rewire the neurons, you can rewire your brain. You can have an effect when you address the cells, when you address the gut, when you supplement, when you give your body what it needs. When I was 100 pounds heavier, and oh my gosh, I did have that picture here. I don't see it now. That's crazy. I was very bloated, and I had very, very dark colored hair. And I can remember I was on my first intermittent fasting detox day, and I was getting my hair colored, and I was sitting there with all the color on my hair, and I was going, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm detoxing, and I'm putting toxins in my brain, and I'm really aware of what I put in my brain. And I got it blown out. It looked great. I paid $150 for that color and cut. I said thank you to her. I told her it was the last time I would color it. And I went back to our RV. We were living in our RV at the time, full-time RVers for 3.5 years. Man, I loved it. Nothing like traveling the country. But anyway, I went back to the RV. I grabbed my hair, put it up at the top of my head like this, and I cut it all off. It was really having trouble. My hair was falling out. It was all not working. And I got on our collagen, I got on our reset, and my hair is 100% natural, and it's incredible. I never thought I could go gray and be natural and be happy with my hair. But again, when you address the toxins, the deficiencies, the stress comes from the adaptogens. By the way, lavender is an adaptogen, helps you adapt to stress. I could do a whole 30-minute talk right now on adaptogens and lavender, but I only have a few more minutes. But when we put adaptogens in our body, and Isagenix is a leader in adaptogens, we brought them over 35 years ago from the east to the west. We've been talking about adaptogens for 24 years here, long before it became a buzzword. We've been intermittent fasting, the same protocol, for 24 years, with 24 peer-reviewed, published in medical journals, scientific studies that blow your mind. You got to check it out. I love it, and that's why we get results. And that's why I love what I do. So I help people with a 90-day reset. It's so much fun, because if you're feeling sluggish, you just don't have weight wellness, whether you're underweight or overweight, I can help. And when we build our energy, right, we talk a lot about money as energy. It is definitely energy. And when we reframe our thoughts around money, right, what would be an old one? Oh, money doesn't grow on trees. We might have grown up with that. Well, money actually is made out of paper, and it does grow on trees. But when we reframe our understanding that we are deserving of it, that money is a tool, I've had it and I've not had it. I was rolling in it at the farm, and I was working really hard, and then I went bankrupt. So I've been up and down a few times. It's way more fun to have it because it's an energy, and it enables me to make more of a difference. So when you shift your thought about money, it can actually help you make more money. It's the same way with our health. We are deserving. We are worth it. So if I have a thought to myself, well, I lost everything, I don't have a venue anymore, I'm so depressed, I'm this or that, I have to reframe it with, I am enough. I have what I need. I'm confident and attract what I need. All my needs are being met, and everything always works out for me. We heard it before, but you've got to really implement it by shifting those words. When we reframe that, all the energy shifts around our weight wellness as well. Because why would we put something in our mouth that would defeat the purpose of loving this vehicle? All of a sudden our subconscious starts to change and we start to take care of our vehicle. We appreciate this vehicle. We understand what this vehicle can do. We have confidence in this vehicle. We have belief in ourselves because we love what we are. So that's why it's so critical and important to get in touch with your dreams again, your why again, and that's what I had to do to finally find my way back. I couldn't just release the weight. I had to first forgive myself and release the interference. Get rid of the stuff that was holding me back. Even though I knew I wanted to move forward, there were all the things that everybody deals with, right? Not feeling worthy, feeling like a failure. I felt like such a failure. And I just broke my leg, and it wasn't my fault. There were probably choices I could have made that might have made it better. But we have to forgive ourselves and learn what we can. And so the lessons, of course, that I learned, and just to go back over it because I'm running out of time, is first and foremost, be generous. Be generous with yourself, with your vision, with taking care of yourself. Just like you nourish and take care of other people, include yourself first in that list. Get the rest, the fun, the creative outlet that you need to be able to get in touch with who that person is. Because when you align with that person and you work on addressing the physical deficiencies, we can come into prosperity. But we've got to get to self-love, find the forgiveness, get some relief, tend to your garden first, talk to yourself as if your life depends on it. Then you're open to receive. Because when you align your purpose with your well-being and you let joy guide you every step of the way, joy is my strategy, you can create a life that is radiant, resilient, and deeply fulfilling. I call it the art of living joyfully. But it all starts within and with you. And the fact that you're in this group and listening to these amazing women means you're doing the work. And you want to see it in your business, and you can. You can have more confidence. You can have more energy, more clarity. So in closing, the Lavender Farm taught me a lot about life, about how to lead, how to make it through something I thought I would never make it through, right? We're never given what we're not able to handle, and it took me a while. This was a long time ago. It took me a while to unpeel and unravel the layers and layers of the things I call interference, the things that are really taking away from our performance, right? We've got to get rid of the interference. We've got to refrain the talk to ourselves, align with who we are. I'm telling you, this human design stuff's really fun. I feel so connected and empowered having done the work. And remind yourself to bring joy into the process. What brings you happiness? What brings you joy? Align with those things, and it's all connected. It's all connected. And now you're open to receive, and people will be reaching out to everything that you have to offer because you're attracting the people that need you. When I had the farm, I attracted what I needed. So even though I don't have the farm, I have me, and I'm sure part of that was that they were attracted to my family and to our story. Our story is our success. You got to unpack the story, though, to move forward and stay in the present. I used to be able to, I used to talk a lot and get very emotional when I talk, and I've kind of worked through that because when I'm in the present, I'm in joy. And, we have this positive mindset. We have high energy positive and low energy positive. The best place to be is in that high positive energy, which comes in gratitude, because you can't be anywhere but in positive energy in gratitude. There is no negative in gratitude. So once you really unpack that story, rewire the talk, you can move forward because we have the ability to change our story, to rewrite our story. Today, I have a lot of fun doing it at theartoflivingjoyfully.com. I encourage you to go check it out. And you can download my Joyful Living Guide. Type Joyful in the comments. I appreciate any comments. And you can schedule with me. I would love to sit down and have a Zoom with you and hear what's going on, see if I can be of service. I have a knack at helping you, guide you to where you can get, where you can release the interference and get better performance, feel better, and live your best life. So thank you. I'm at 20 minutes. I appreciate it. Again, it's the art of living joyfully. I look forward to chatting more with you. Cheers. Aloha.